friends, it's Kathy Clement with Kathy by Design, and it's Wonderful Wednesday. This is a weekly series where I share a tutorial with you for making either a tag, a banner, a card, or a flower of the month. This week is time to make our May birthday card of the month, and we're using Ciao Bella's gorgeous new Morning in Provence collection. We're going to make this wonderful card folio that feels like a walk through lavender fields in Provence. Inside, it's got a pull-out folio and some little treats in a pocket. If you'd like to learn how to make it, stick around because the tutorial is coming up next. All right, friends, before we get started putting this card together, I just want to show you this gorgeous paper collection from Ciao Bella. This is called Morning in Provence. It's a new release, and I'm in love with it. It's just stunning. First of all, I love lavender, and these images, this is a 6x6. This is Fussy Cut, but I always buy these because the patterns on the back side are fantastic and can be used in so many different ways. Look at that, isn't that gorgeous? And I'll show you how we're going to use these. We put these to good use in our card folio. But the colors are just so soft and inviting. It's truly beautiful. And I love that they've accented with this sagey green. So that's the 6x6. This is the creative pad. Oh no, this is the 8x8, sorry, which is the same as the 12x12 with the exception of the cover art. So I'll just go ahead and show you the 8x8. But look at this, the images. The 8x8 is a great size for card making. The 12x12 is great for off-the-page projects, mini albums, folios, that sort of thing. But you can see this is a stunning collection, and it has that wonderful old world feel to it. So many options with this collection. Look at this, so stunning. So that is the 8x8. This is the creative pad, and I always get the creative pad because I love the cut-aparts. It's just loaded with wonderful cut-apart images. And if you're a card maker, which I primarily am a card maker, cards and folios, that's what I do the most of. This is just loaded, and the patterns are great, but all these different little card fronts, tags, bookmarks, labels. It's just, look at this beautiful bird. I mean, really, really stunning. So I always get at least the creative kit and the 8x8. But this time I kind of went crazy because I love this paper collection so much. So I went ahead and I did get the 12x12, which I'll just show you very quickly. I've kind of cut up on this a bit here and there. But you can see how this is great for scrapbooks, right? I love these images. So clearly I've used some of this, but you can see how this would be gorgeous for scrapbooking. Some of these are so pretty, you can honestly just frame them and hang them on the wall. They always have a great fussy cut sheet. If you don't like to fussy cut, you can use the pattern on the back. This is great, like if you're covering a box or you're creating some sort of off-the-page project. And then in addition to that, I always get the patterns when I can afford it because gorgeous and different than it's a whole different thing than the 12x12 and the 8x8, and loaded with possibilities. You can see I used a good bit of this in this project. Let me know in the comments how you feel about this collection. I think it's fabulous, and I can see myself using it a lot. I love that it's lavender, but it's not like, you know, smack you in the face purple. Got these great cut-aparts that make little boxes. So cute. These wonderful images, so perfect for a folio. And I will be doing a kit with this collection for Button Farm Club. It's going to be the card kit collection in, I think, September, if I'm not mistaken. And then in addition, you're going to need 2 sheets of 12 by 12, kind of a soft sagey green. And I use this sort of periwinkle, lavender, gray. It just looked really great with the paper collection. 2 sheets of this, both 12 by 12. This is a metallic. This is DCWV, but any metallic you have will work. I also have a Rene Bouquet's April in Paris doily that I've heat treated with Stampendous aged ivory embossing powder, and then I spattered it with shaded lilac distress paint. And then I have some of her butterflies. I have this lavender seam binding ribbon from Really Reasonable Ribbon. I've got some beads that are also Rene Bouquets, a bunch of Rene Bouquet flowers in here, and I think that's it. I used Dusty Concord Distress ink, and I pulled out some prills just because I thought, well, maybe. So let me clear all this stuff off my desk, make room for us to work, and we will get started making this card folio, birthday card folio. I want to get started making the card cover, which I know seems backwards, but it's just how my brain is working today. So from our sagey green, I've cut a 4 7/8 by 6 7/8 inch panel, and then I topped it with this beautiful toile, which is 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. I did spatter this with some of that shaded lilac distress paint. So that is our base layer that's going to go over our card front, which we'll build in a minute. And then to go over that, I've cut a 4 1/8 by 6 panel of this lavender metallic cardstock. I topped this with, and I'll write all these down, a 4 by 5 7/8 inch panel of this dot. And then I tore this from the 6 by 6. I just tore the edge. It's about 3 inches wide, and then I inked it up. So what we're going to do, I've got this really pretty burlap stitched ribbon. I love the texture that this adds to this card. And when you're making a card, think about all those things. Think about color, think about shape, think about texture, because adding texture to a card really creates interest. And it's a wonderful thing to do. So I put down 1/2 inch score tape, and I'm going to peel off the liner, and I'm just going to tuck my burlap ribbon. And I believe this is May Arts. You might still be able to get it there. I got mine from Really Reasonable Ribbon, but theirs is all out of stock. So check May Arts. Maybe you can find it there if you really want it. Or just look in your stash for some other sort of textured element that you can add. You could even just put burlap or a piece of linen. Ticking, green ticking would be really pretty here. This is also Really Reasonable Ribbon. This is a printed satin. And of course, I will link to all of these on my blog, and then put the link to my blog in the description box below this video. You guys know the drill by now. So I'm just going to press this one down as well. Peel it back, and I've cut my ribbon, as you can see, longer than my card, and that is so I can wrap this around it like that. And it just looks nice and neat, which I like. I've backed this with lightweight chipboard, and this is going to sit right here. But before I glue this down, I'm going to bring in, I made a little dangle charm. This is just with, I think this is Buttons Galore and More, and I'm not sure where I got the key, to be honest with you. And I'm gonna trim these ribbon ends. They're a little too long. So I'm just gonna put them together and fold them in half. I taught my granddaughters how to do this weekend, and they were like, whoa. It's funny, the simple things that we do that we take for granted that kids just think are so awesome. So that really made me laugh. I'm going to bring in my glue gun. I'm going to put a little dab of glue down right there and put my dangle charm in there. And I may come back and cover that with a button or a flower or something. We'll see. But for right now, we're just going to do this. And I'm going to make my tails go up. That's pretty. Then this is Rene Bouquet's April in Paris doily, and I've backed this with chipboard as well. And since I have my hot glue gun out, I'm just going to go ahead and add my hot glue, and I'm going to put this pretty much right in the middle, okay? Just like that. And then this is just a wood slice that my son cut for me. He is a woodworker, and he has a wonderful Etsy shop called Deep Roots 77. And he turns wood, and he makes fairy castles and all kinds of things. He's really talented. He's much more talented than I am. He's more of an artist than I am, but there we go. That's going to go, whoops, I did that wrong. Hold on, got ahead of myself. This is one of the circle elements that and I've got glue webs everywhere. Oh, well, guys, it's early in the morning. It's been quite a week already. All right, I die cut this, backed this with chipboard. That goes over the hole, which is why I did the hole that way. Now it's all coming back to me. There we go. There we go. Now I'm just going to put a little more adhesive on this guy. And this goes right in the middle. It's just about creating layers. I love to create layers on my cards. Then to go on this is one of the little fussy cut elements, and this precious little envelope. So I'm going to put the envelope down first, right here. And I backed this with just little pieces of chipboard. See how pretty? And it just creates this wonderful focal. There we go. Here we go. All right. So I'm just going to center this up. You can see this is really basically very simple card making, but it's the embellishments and the layers that make it really special. This will be a beautiful summer birthday card. All right, now we're going to bring in our flowers. These are also from Rene Bouquet's. And I like to start with what I call my anchor flower. And that's typically the biggest flower in the bunch. And then I just like to play with arranging them around my focal. Some of these are Mirabelle. I wanted to bring in some of these beautiful sagey greens to pick up on the green. And these are all from Renee's shop. She has amazing flowers. All right, I think I just like that. I don't think I want to add I don't think I want to add anything else. I think that's good. I'm going to take this little, see if I get a little rosebud in here. These buttons. Yeah, I'm going to put that rosebud up there. And these are little leaves. I think these are spellbinders. I just die cut and dry brush them with a little ivory paint, just to add that little touch of foliage in there. I'm going to put this little rosebud up here on my ribbon just to kind of finish that off. Okay. And it's okay to tear your die cut leaf assembly into bits and pieces. I recommend it, in fact, because I think it you get a lot more mileage out of your die cut, and it also looks really neat, I think. Let's put our anchor down right here. Wow, that's pretty. I'll come back and get all the glue webs. And then this beautiful Mirabelle rose right here. Just going to hold that there till that glue sets up a little bit. And then our sage. Wow, that's pretty. Okay. I want my buttons right here. I had done 3, but I think I only need 2. And let me see. I'll tuck this leaf in right there. I like to use the point of my scissors because that hot glue is hot. I'm just going to tuck this guy in here. And you see we've kind of created this circular shape around our flowers, which I like. Hot glue everywhere. I tied my bow with our lavender seam binding, and I like to pull the loops back. I like to put the glue on the knot, and then I come in underneath and I just tuck that into place with my scissors. Okay, so it's really pretty. And then I call this fussing the bow. I'm making it go the way that I want it to go so that it looks nice. And then this is iridescent metallic string. I love this stuff because whatever color your project is, it picks up that color. And once that has set, I'll go in and fluff that out a little bit more. Okay, I've got a couple of old stick pins that I pulled out of my stash. I'm going to tuck this one in here. These are old Maya Road, which I think is no more. That's how long I've been around, guys. I have seen so many companies come and go. All right. Wow, that's really pretty. So what I want to do, I think, is bring in a funnel tray. And I'm going to take my Dries Clear adhesive and I'm going to sprinkle some frills along the bottom of my glass. I don't want to completely cover up that wood, although I've done a pretty good job of that, haven't I? And I want to put some larger pearls and beads down here below. So I'm just putting my adhesive in. And I'm going to bring in my beads, my pearls rather. I don't want the really big ones. I want the more, let me see if I can get kind of what I want in my hand. Here we go. And go. This is a beautiful bead mix from Rene Bouquets, which I love. I just love that little bit of shabby chic elegance that it adds to the card right there. And I need one more right there. Whoops. All right. And as that glue sets, they'll stop rolling around and they'll stay in place. Okay. Now I'm going to bring in my prills. And I'm going to shake these in. And I'm just going to let this set. Then I'm going to come back and dump those out. That's really pretty. In fact, let's get some prills down here on this leaf. I really like the way that looks. I wasn't planning on doing that, but it's pretty. So let's do some of that. All right, so we're just going to set this aside, let that glue set up, and then I'll come back and clean the prills out. So that is our card front. Now we're going to go ahead and do the base and the inside. All right, friends, we're going to go ahead and get our card base built. This is that lavender metallic cardstock that I was telling you about, DCWV. Comes in a big pad. You can get like a whole bunch of colors in one pad. I've had it for a long time, but I'm pretty sure you can still buy it. And what I did was I cut, I took my 12 by 12 piece and I cut a 5-inch panel, then I turned it and I cut another 5-inch panel and I joined it together with score tape. We've done this a million times. Then I scored it 7 and 7.5. And I've gone ahead and lined this inside. This is from the 12 by 12. And what I did was I cut a 5 by 7 panel and then I split it here so that this part of the design is on the pocket and this part is up here. And of course I've lined this with my 4 7/8 by 6 7/8 inch sage. In the pocket I created a sweet little journal card, and then this is a magnet, and this is a little bookmark, and this is the type that will slide over your page like that. So that's the bottom. The top half is where all the action is. So let me bring in all these pieces. Here's another piece of our sage cardstock. This is 4 7/8 by 6 I think this is from the 12 by 12. And this is 4.5 by 6.25. We're going to glue this down onto our paper. And if you prefer the back side, go ahead, use the back side. And again, I've inked all my edges with Dusty Concord Distress ink. And I'm going to center this between the top and the bottom. Then this is a scrap of this lavender stripe. And I'm going to go put part of it here. Just keeping with that shabby chic, I just tore this little scrap in half with my fingers and then inked the edges like that. And then this becomes a beautiful place to add a photo. But the real element that we've done here that turned this is this wonderful pullout. And I'll show you how I did this. This is one sheet of that periwinkle or lavender paper that I cut into 2 6x6 strips. And then I joined them on the 6-inch side with my score tape and then scored every 4 3/4 inches. First I did a 1/2 inch flap on the edge, and then I went every 4 3, I believe it's 4 3/4. Let me just double check myself. Yes, every 4 3/4 inches. So you end up with this wonderful little folio on the front. I glued down this fussy cut envelope and then tucked this little, I'm going to trim that. I don't like that showing. I'm just going to tear the back corner. There we go, because it's shabby chic. Torn is good. This just tucks inside here. This piece on the front is going to be your short piece. This one is only 4 1/4 by 6. So your line, you're going to need 2 liners that are 4 by 5 3/4, and the rest are all 4.5 by 4 3/4. And this is where I use that 6x6 pad of paper. So if this is like a birthday party, an anniversary party, a bridal shower, anything like that, you can put all those photos in there and it just creates a wonderful keepsake. So I'm going to glue my little 1/2 inch flap back behind like this. See? So now everything will pull out. You get the full use of that pull out. And then when it flips, you've got this. So to hold this in place, I'm just going to use this little clip so that it doesn't flap around in the breeze. And then we're just going to glue this down. So this goes in just like this. So this is so simple. It's just joining 2 6x12 panels together, scoring a 1/2 inch flap on the one side, and then scoring every 4 3/4 inches. And then you just line it with your pretty papers. And you've created, this is now like almost like a mini album in a card. It makes a wonderful birthday gift, and it's so perfect for summer birthdays. It's just so pretty. So this closes like this. This will stand up for display. I lined the back with another piece of this sage just to lend some strength and stability. So now what we're going to do is we're going to bring in our cover. We're going to spill off all those extra prills. Ooh, that turned out really pretty. I'm going to set this over here. I'm going to bring in this beautiful butterfly. This is the final touch right here. And I want it to be clustered in. I think I want it right here, y'all. So I'm just going to put my hot glue on the back. And angle this in. Pretty, pretty. Pull my antennas up. Oops. There we go. Wow. That's really gorgeous. I like this a lot. And I don't think I'm going to use the other butterfly. I think we have plenty going on here. And I like this little bit of the lavender peeking up. My lavender is getting ready to bloom, and it makes the front entry of my house smell like heaven. It's so beautiful to walk up my front sidewalk onto my porch when that lavender is blooming. All right, I'm going to lay this flat because it's a little bit easier for me to see what I'm doing. And I'm just going to layer this up. And that, my friends, is our May 2024 birthday card of the month. It looks really impressive, but as you saw, it's pretty darn simple to put together, which you gotta love that. I love that when a card looks like, you know, rocket science. But it's actually all just simple scoring and folding, a little layering, a little fussy cutting. And here we are, all finished. I'm going to put a photo array at the end of this video. I'm going to put the link to the supply list, the linked supply list, in the description box below the video. I hope you enjoyed this project. Please remember to give it a like, share it with your friends, share it in social media. If you haven't subscribed, I would love to have you along for the journey. Next week's Wonderful Wednesday is our Flower of the Month tutorial. And then we have a wild card this month. I already know what we're going to do. It's going to be really fun. And that's it for me. Kathy Clement, Kathy by Design. Go get your craft on. Bye.